Ooh. Oh, we didn't know that you met on the speed dating day.
But now it's been seen as this is the normal, but this is not normal.
Hey, it's not
Just go out there, touch grass. Like, this is not normal.
Do you think men find joy in women who give them? Do you think men enjoy entitled women, generally speaking?
Who are you attracting at this stage? That no,
Let me tell you something, Ayo. People will laugh at your joke whether they are boring or not, as long as you are hot or you are handsome or you're famous. Those are the three conditions where people will laugh at your boring joke over and over and over again. If you're missing all those three things, honey, I'm sorry to tell you.
I am hot. It's fine. You don't have to find me hot. I am hot. You don't even find Nigerian guys hot. So I'm hot. Don't worry.
I don't think she's ever said that.
It's okay.
I've never ever said that.
Is he your hot?
Okay.
I am hot.
Okay.
Okay, we accept you're hot. Like, I mean, this is you can identify as hot.
If you think Ayo is hot, please put it in the comment section. If you don't put anything, we're just going to take it that you are saying he's not hot. So yeah.
That's a good one. If we don't get any comments, Ayo, it means everybody's literally saying nope.
It's okay.
Cut it out.
Everybody can say nope, but my track record says yes.
What's your track record? Is this the track record from Tinder?
You don't have to know. You don't have to know. You can't mess with my track record. Anyways,
is this the track record from Tinder?
No. I told you I don't like Tinder. I don't know what is your obsession with
Okay,
Tinder.
from Hinge. Is it from Hinge?
It's from everywhere. I've been across the world, you know. My track record stays.
Ayo, since you've decided you're not going to date anybody, will you tell us about the date that wasn't a date?
Which date wasn't a date?
You once mentioned a date that wasn't a date.
No.
Remember?
Yes. I just don't. No.
Unless you're choosing not to talk about it. Blink twice if you don't want to.
Blink twice if you don't want to talk about it.
You know why people are coming out there? Now I really want to blink. I feel like if I do blink, I feel like I have been don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what's going on in my head.
You not wanting to talk about it doesn't mean
He doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know a date that's not a date. I told you I went on a date, but that was 2 months ago. And I
didn't want to say anything about it then. No, he's asking, do you want to talk about it now? Like,
I was supposed to go on a date recently, but then we had a water issue.
So you couldn't shower for the date?
Yes, we didn't have water for like a week. So I decided,
so why didn't you move the date to the next week? Why did you just cancel the date altogether?
No, I didn't cancel the date. It was postponed, but we just haven't set up a new date because that wasn't the first time I postponed it. It wasn't me. It was.
Are you guys actually interested in each other? Like, are you guys interested in each other, or?
I am interested, but she has a very busy schedule.
Just because files got deleted, all of a sudden your mind.
I am interested. I just said I am not particularly like I'm not going to be chasing. I want to like something that if something spectacular comes my way, that's why I deleted all of my dating, online dating profile.
No, but you know what? Yeah, I'll say something with what Ayo is saying, because that's exactly what I did. Like, I was like, I'm not like dating is one thing I don't want to work hard for at all. Like, I don't want to put in. You know how people are like, oh, you need to put in an effort. You need to put yourself out there. I got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to put myself out there. I'm just going to live my life. My life is already out there, if I can put it that way. So there's no reason for me to be doing more.
I have something to say to that.
Yes.
Your life is out there. His life is not out there.
It could be. It could be. This.
Okay, no, you can't say it could be. If you're not out there at all, nobody's going to find you. Like, that's just the reality of it.
This is a chance. If you feel like Ayo is hot, let him know, and then maybe Ayo will be out there.
Ayo, honey, that's not how it works. Honey, I am so sorry to break it to you. That is not how it works.
You don't know. People shoot their shot all the time. I watch Love Island.
You should. Maybe you should go to a speed dating event. I think speed dating would be great for you.
I actually watched each recently, I mean yesterday, and that whole speed dating scene was so much fun. I would actually be really down to do that. But like that for me, that would
Yeah.
not necessarily be me searching for somebody. That would just be me like as an experience to get to talk to a bunch of people.
Yes, that was what I
Really
did,
cool.
and that's how I met the person I'm dating.
Ooh. Oh, we didn't know that you met on the speed dating day. Why did you say it was
So,
funny?
moving on to today's episode. What are we
You know
discussing
what's
today?
not at the speed dating? Our carpenter brother from Nigeria. Anyways, guys, it's good to have you guys back.
Ayo, not famous
It's
enough,
okay. It's okay. It's
not
okay. The
rich
joke has
enoug0
already been
yet,
made.
and honestly, not hard enough yet.
Who is
Like,
nagging
leave
on the
that
joke
joke
now?
alone.
Who is nagging on the joke now? Who's nagging on the joke is done. The joke is done. It's okay.
Anyway, guys, hope you missed us. If you missed us, put it in the comment section. If you don't miss us, don't say anything.
Question. I want to ask a question before we continue. I want to ask a question before we continue, right? Do any of you feel like some type of way watching a Will Smith movie now? Now, considering the slap.
No.
I wasn't a big fan of his movies before. Like, I know people really loved him, but I just never had that thing of, oh, Will Smith. So for me, it's like neither here nor there. I'm so indifferent. Fair, I get it, but I don't think I am a celebrity worship person, generally speaking. Like, and not just celebrities, like, I'm just not that person. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, whatever this person is must be good. I don't judge on the basis of the person. I would rather watch the thing and then be like, oh, that was good. Or it actually was trap. Like it was crap.
No,
What am I saying? It
the
was
reason
crap.
why I asked, the reason why I asked is that Will Smith was somebody like growing up to a certain like level. I've watched a bunch of his movies, so you kind of grow like some affiliation or something towards the person that you've seen multiple times, right? Think of them like because
Yeah.
they try to create a particular image for people generally. It is what it is. But now that I watched his movie back, don't let me, I still enjoy the movie, but like maybe I just think about it like you know,
Okay,
I feel some type
so
of way.
me personally, why it didn't affect me anyways, because I still see you as an actor. I don't know you. You're the best I know is the information you're deciding to put out there. I think the only person that has kind of crossed that barrier for me is Keanu Reeves, because he kind of
Did you watch first Prince of Bel-Air?
yes, he didn't make me.
No, it's just that like I
I
was
did.
looking at a level of commitment towards a particular thing.
Yeah,
towards the guy.
there are
No.
actors that I not just like I love, right?
Yeah.
But none of them are. I think the only person that's kind of crossed that barrier is Keanu Reeves, where I feel like, oh, and that's because he actually doesn't try to put anything out there.
Yeah.
It's third hand. Most of the information about him is people's stuff, not him trying to create.
Yeah.
So he didn't change whether he slapped or not slapped. It's fine. I don't know. Now I know. Oh well.
Yeah.
So that's.
But I think also like if anybody has slapped, because a lot of actors has done a lot of like shady things in the past, it not really like it doesn't really bother. I think it's just like the manner of it and the nature of it and
No, I get you based on the
black on black kind of type of thing.
Or what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I do get you like based on the idea is kind of if there was a I don't know top 5 black most wanted men.
Yeah.
He was probably on almost everyone's list.
Yeah.
Some is number 1.
Yeah.
But
it's what it is.
But then the whole first and foremost that whole his wife bringing out that thing just like it moved from number 5 to
Number 500.
No,
Do you know one thing?
But when he now slapped the guy, like,
oh yeah, I feel like we like so you move.
Do you
from
know what I
to, like,
think?
we have pity, and now to like, after the slap.
What I think is if you're a celebrity, your value actually lies in people not knowing a lot about your personal life. I feel like that scarcity, that sort of sense of like people don't really know you keeps them more interested and it keeps you mysterious. The moment you start putting all your personal information out there and you guys are talking about how you're not really married or you're just together because divorce is not what you want to, like once you get to that point, people are just like, okay, they know you too much. Like I think that's what celebrities need to understand. Like scarcity is a good currency to have.
All right. So the reason why I brought this up actually was also I watched his movie recently, but also I was on Hot Wings. I've been watching Hot Wings for not Hot Wings. What's the name of that show on YouTube? Hot Ones. Hot Ones. It's a show where celebrities go and eat hot wings. really hot wings and progressively get hotter and they ask them questions, right? So I watched his episode, but I also watched the what's the name Idris Elba's episode. And then I was started talking about it about how like when the major shift happened in like Hollywood and how like now celebrities having to give up a bit more information about themselves is because like a lot of people started watching like reality TV shows. And like reality TV shows essentially like it's TV, but also is real life TV for a lot of people. Like these people actually have real life consequences. Whereas in a movie, something can happen and like, okay, these people are still going home, they're okay, the actors are fine. But in like reality shows, real life stuff happens, and these people like it affects them like beyond the length of the TV, right? A TV episode or whatever. So like that was when people that was when like publicists and stuff like that started changing their opinions on like how much information should celebrities like give up about themselves to get people more
Yes.
invested.
Okay. So yeah, so I get that, but I think that if you're going to do that, you cannot share information that will damage the reputation you've already built, which is what Will Smith and his partner
Oh
did.
no,
Because
that
with them, they were sharing
case
information.
is
Because
beyond
at first, they were more like, yeah, they seemed like, oh, this is a goal couple,
yeah, black
like black
royalty kind of
love,
stuff.
blah, blah, blah. Then they start sharing information that contradicts that. Then you're ruining the image. What you're supposed to
I don't
share.
think Smith shared information. I think his wife started sharing information and it just went downhill from
all
there.
the stuff with like she was dating August making a soundtrack about that, like all of that just ruined the whole thing. You're not supposed to share that kind of information.
Tupac. It's Tupac.
The other part was actually fine. The Tupac part was the one was saying it's not. No, it was bad. It was bad. The entitlement stuff was bad. But the new one is like she never said she was in love with August. The new one is like no matter what Will Smith does from today till the day he dies, from the day it can never match a dead man. Like it's over.
Anyway, you know what?
That's not even our topic.
Hey, look, if you want to be a celebrity, right?
No,
Whatever.
I want to make money. I don't want to be a celebrity.
If you ever become a celebrity, I call it put the breadcrumbs you are okay with out there. Breadcrumbs, not the whole food. Because if you put the whole food, they will find something.
Yeah.
Just put
breadcrumbs, people to find something. You just have to be okay with what you can tolerate.
Yeah.
That's not reality.
Alright. I think we're good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So our episode, right?
So
Yeah.
I'm going to put up a video and then I'm going to react.
Let's all do this. Put up a video. Come on, then join the club. Come on. Don't leave
Why
us
are you
hanging.
guys doing this?
The video
What
is
are we
going to come
doing?
up after
It's
this.
gonna come
What's
up
this?
after we do this, and then the video will come up. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my girlfriend's plane ticket after she decided to stay longer on her trip without me? So here's the deal. My 28 male girlfriend, 27 female, of 2 years and I planned a 2-week vacation to Italy. I paid for the flights, hotels, everything. Because I make more than she does and I wanted it to be a stress-free trip for the both of us. Everything was great until the last day when she tells me she wants to stay longer to find herself and think about our relationship without me. She didn't discuss this.
Oh my god.
She didn't discuss this with me beforehand and it completely blindsided me. I was hurt and I told her that if she feels that she needs time alone, then she should also be independent financially during this extension of her trip. I said I wouldn't be paying for her return ticket whenever she decides to come back. Now she's upset, calling me unsupportive and selfish. And some of our friends are saying I'm being an a-hole because I left her stranded in a foreign country without financial help. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for a new plane ticket home after she chose to extend her?
Yeah. There's 2 parts to it. But
Yes.
that's the first part. So I
Yeah. The first part of the video essentially is like. So it's true. You now the reason why this becomes
not the question.
I am not an asshole. No, I'm not done with the question. The reason why I didn't want to make it feel because right there it felt a bit one-sided. The reason why is that your partner at the time doesn't have the financial means to continue staying by themselves. So it's not like they had the money and they still wanted you to continue. Okay, I'll put that out there. Now,
I don't think that changes anything.
okay.
If whether you are rich or you are poor,
Yes.
you should be considerate. If you are now broke and you are inconsiderate, that doesn't. You are the asshole.
It's not even about being inconsiderate for me, to be honest. It's just weird. Like, okay, so you want to figure out yourself and you want to stay in this country,
You can't do that
but you
again.
want me to pay for it. Like, why? Why do you want to do it here? Why can't you do it at home?
But, it's not the same. When
Why
you're
can't
at
you
home, things
go?
changes. Now we are together on our flight home, and then we are living together at home.
This is not a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old.
Be patient.
I'm being patient. Like this is not. I don't know. This is not one hypothetical whatever. If you want to in quote think about yourself or life or relationship or whatever, it's fine. But
Mhm.
the best word, this is not the best word. This is probably the PG word I can use. Inconsiderate. So this is inconsiderate because it's mad.
Personally,
It's not what I want to say.
personally, for me, it has nothing to do with the consideration and anything. It has to do with the audacity. The audacity is the simple part of it.
Exactly.
Forget about being considerate or not. Clearly, if the question has come out of your mouth, it reminds me of the old the dying wife that said, I have to sleep with my ex." Type of situation all over again. It's like you've thought about it.
What?
Oh, this was
Where was
We talked
that?
about no. We was there, yeah, but that was when we were before we formed the whole new channel thing.
Yeah.
Where the wife was about to die,
Yeah.
she had cancer, and there was like says she wants to have sex with her ex. Like she's asking her husband for permission to
have sex because that was the best sex he's ever had.
And did her husband say it's okay?
No, so
we didn't know the
he didn't agree, or he hadn't agreed, but he was
asking us.
I see the answer. Don't agree to
Some people have audacity in this life. So the person that's looking after you while you have cancer, you leave that person to go and sleep with your ex.
So
wow.
And then you have to continue.
So for me, okay, so if we're putting ourselves into this, no offense, if in a relationship and someone asks me that, that's it.
So even before the second part,
even if you change your mind, that audacity that you talked about just lets me know where I am in the relationship. That you don't care about me. Like it's okay. I can see. That's it. The way Biola is,
I feel
that's the end.
For me, right? Like
I feel like if you want to say something like that, like if you're like, oh, I really want to think about the relationship, you should not expect the other person to foot your bill. If you're like, oh, I want to think about myself, I want to think about the relationship, you want to think about the relationship in Italy when we are from the US. When we get back to the US, you can go stay with your mom or your sister or your cousin or whatever, or your friend, and do the thinking there. But for you to expect that I would pay for you to be in Italy while you're thinking about the relationship.
It's not just the you can ask. The part that is going to make me break up with the person is I say no. And then you're like, you're a bad person because you're saying no.
Oh, that's that. No,
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying there will be repercussions for asking. But what will make me break up with the person is that I said no to your request, and then I'm a bad person for that.
Oh, by the way, you know on the video, right? You know that she texted it like a bunch of their friends.
Yeah,
and they were siding
him. Yeah. So it's all those things that will just make me be like, you know what? I'm the bad person. And I'm the bad person. I want to be bad. You are good. I'm bad. You shouldn't be with a bad person. Bye. I'm not even fighting. It's a breakup, but it's not that I'm angry with it. Like, it just lets me know that, you know what, my assessment of this relationship is off.
But I feel like,
that's it.
But I feel like personally, right? I feel like she has to be exhibiting this type of traits before. This definitely didn't come out of nowhere.
Fair enough.
Like because and also the kind of friends that they have, for them to think that it's okay for them to like our brother can go through this.
Let's be fair. She probably sent that thing to people she knows will support her. She probably didn't send it to like.
Yes.
Like who are you supporting? Like who supports nonsense?
Oh no, there are people who support that. Like there are people who are really entitled in their relationships, like where they feel like if you don't, there's the playful entitlement where you're like, oh, my boyfriend's gonna get the bill because Odogo or whatever. There are people who are like, if you don't get me a Jaguar, you're a terrible partner.
Yeah.
There are people like that, and they themselves cannot afford the tire.
A Jaguar is even like far-fetched. Like the whole iPhone, you must get me the latest iPhone.
Those people have an iPhone. God will save us from those people. Not that I want one, but still.
No, but
That happens. It happens quite frequently.
Jamie, personally, I don't blame the people that have those requests.
The audacity to ask.
I don't really blame them for having, because more often than not, their choices coming from a place of people have responded to those things before. It's just people who are enabling nonsense. That's the enabling nonsense.
Biola is in his Nigerian dad mode. Like, you're messing with me, man.
This one, our brother feels very passionate and passionate about. This one is on the same level as the waiters. Anyways, let us move on to the second part.
Yeah, that's yes, yeah.
Let us take it. The second episode now. That means I enjoy.
What are you guys saying? Oh my God, can we just move on?
We have played the second part. Second part.
You can see they can share the hatred in our voice. The anger.
Okay, guys, so the second part is coming in. No, this was the first one. Let's see the second one.
Oh, the second one. Yeah, I like it. I think you're gonna make it like move over across the page.
Alright, so
Look at that. I'm sorry, this is so worth it. I don't look at this face, the embarrassment that she has in those life.
Okay, so update. Thank you to all the people who responded, especially the early ones who gave me some outside verification of me probably not being the asshole. I don't feel comfortable saying I'm completely blameless here because you're only getting one side of the story, and I need to take responsibility for my part in this whole thing, such as it is.
I love it.
But I guess I never realized how good my girlfriend was at making me feel like unreasonable shit was normal and rational, and that I was the crazy one. So here's the update. We're both back in America now, and she's packing her shit to go stay with her family for a bit until she can find a new place. Soon after I posted, it was time to go to the airport, so I did, without her. I'm one of those people who arrives really early because I never think I'll get to the gate in time, because everything that could go wrong probably would go wrong. It never does, especially with how I was feeling my luck was going. I don't want to push it. I was there for about an hour by myself, mulling things over and talking to my mom. I looked at a couple responses to this post, but I didn't trust that I wouldn't lose it if I started responding, and I definitely didn't want to burst into tears while in the airport. As I was talking to my mom, my girlfriend showed up. I guess she thought I was bluffing, but had a rude awakening when the hotel staff kicked her out of the room because I only paid through the day. I took no small amount of satisfaction in this, not gonna lie. She's been so concerned about the plane ticket that she didn't even stop to think about where she was going to stay.
Oh my, that's...
As many of you have guessed, she met someone while we were in Italy.
Oh no.
We didn't even think about that. We probably should have.
Well, yeah, keep going.
Anytime someone says, I gotta find myself, it's just focus on yourself.
Freaking Paolo,
Yeah.
man.
Like, that's it. That's what it
Paolo,
is.
man.
Lizzie and Paolo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She was quick to tell me that it was just a physical attraction and that they hadn't done anything, but she had his and was wanting to see if it'd go anywhere. I guess that's what I get for not feeling well and wanting to stay in one night while she went out to explore. Obviously, I told her things were over between us.
One night.
Even though she tried to make it sound like nothing had happened, the fact was, A, I couldn't feel like I could trust her when she said that, and B, I don't really want to be with someone who feels like it's okay to still keep her options open when she's been in a monogamous relationship for the past 2 years. The flight home was awkward as and she tried really hard to give another pitch of why we should stay together on the drive home from the airport. I think as we got closer to home, reality started setting in and she realized she'd just thrown a lot away. So yeah, I'm jet lagged and physically and emotionally exhausted. I'm just kind of numb at this point. Finally, I didn't see all the comments as there are about 2.5 thousand at this point, but to the few that were downvoted into oblivion who said that it was fake because I hadn't updated in several hours, fuck you. I was looking for reasonable dissenting opinions that might have helped me make sense of this situation, and you're accusing me of making this up for random internet points. Believe it or not, my priority was not to tell a bunch of strangers on the internet how my world was falling apart around me. I know it's easy to think that these people aren't real and their struggles are meaningless because screens divide us, but ironically, you're the assholes.
So we go to the second part now, and I guess it just confirms
confirm the audacity to ask just so that this girl can go chase another man in another country. Go for and then I should pay on my own money.
So I have a question, guys. Do you think, based on the first part, do you think someone will actually have that request from a sincere place, point of view, like something sincere, like not that you're trying to hide something? Do you genuinely believe?
I believe it is sincere, but only if you haven't been in a 2-year committed relationship. What the fuck are we doing?
No. It's not even that. It's not even that. It's not even that, because you can be in a 2-year relationship and feel like, oh, this relationship, I'm not really sure where it's heading. Like, I feel like I'm just being overwhelmed all the time. And I need to think about it. What makes it sincere? No, wait. No, I'm not talking about the other guy. Just the request. What makes it sincere? What can make the request 100% sincere is if you're like, I'm going to spend some time here on my own buck with my own money to think about this. That's what makes it 110% sincere. Where you're like, this.
That's what that was the question.
This is excluding that you've met another guy. Like Biola is saying, can that request come from a sincere point? And I think it can, because sometimes you might be in a relationship with somebody,
Yes, I agree.
and you are feeling like, oh, everything is great, but they are feeling overwhelmed. Like they're like, this person is just always there. I need to think about it, but they will do it with their own money. If I had to do something like that, I'd be like, I'll pay for myself.
More often than
I agree with you on that.
What I will say is, more often than not, if it's from a sincere place, they don't even bring it up. They have those questions within them, and they are like trying to ruminating it within themselves. By the time they say it, they already have an answer. And if they say it, the answer is probably negative.
No, I do feel like you can say it.
Possibly, yeah.
No, that's what I said, more often than not in all cases.
Yeah.
But I think my main question was, would they be saying it from the point of view of pay for my hotel and pay for my flights?
No. You know the funniest thing, right? You know the funniest thing, right? I actually think that they can say it. Now, this isn't for, I feel like some people are that entitled that they can actually like genuinely say that with their mouth. And from a genuine intention point of view, like this is our relationship. Because some people, when they get into a relationship, right, they do not believe that as your woman, they have to take care of or lift a single finger when it comes to anything that has to do with money. So some people do believe that.
That's true.
I was about to say no.
Yes.
Right? But then I remembered Tanya.
From the ultimatum South Africa.
They be like dishwashing. Do you have visitors?
Actually could do this where she says, I want to think about this relationship because I don't like how you're behaving, and how dare you not pay for my and
yeah, that's possible actually.
The annoying part is that it will come from a sincere place.
It would. Not even ulterior motive, not even to cheat on you.
That's but it will come from.
Yeah, some people are just like
say it the same way that when this guy was asking how many did you invite people to the house to? Why you calculate that?
Like did I ask you to watch the I promise you, some people just think like I've met people.
That was such a shocker.
Like if you could pay for two weeks or pay for a week, why
you can pay for the extra weekend.
I'm just asking for 3 more days. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
But you know what I think is mostly driving this is that sometimes when you get on like TikToks and everything, they're the quiet luxury girls who are like, we're doing quiet. I don't know how quiet luxury became a thing, because I'm just like, girls, like this is not a thing. But just because you're not wearing color doesn't mean you're in quiet luxury. Because you're wearing beige and brown, that's not necessarily like you're in quiet luxury era. But
it's a quiet flex. Have you heard that? Quiet flex. It's like the flexing they do.
But like basically there are those, and then there's some of them who are like, oh, my lifestyle is enabled by this guy, and they'll do like TikToks of them going out on dates, and it's like, oh, and I asked him for this and he did it.
This guy doesn't get nothing. This guy doesn't get nothing.
They are not doing it because they don't want to show him. They are doing it so that others will not come to the guy.
No,
hey, for self
matter. Contributing this much. I think let him have time to think. Maybe we find a cheaper job.
But what I'm saying is that I think that those trends on social media drive everybody to think that this is how it is with every guy, right? Like I can just ask, this is the norm.
Those list of places you cannot take people or think or like the thing about like money, how much money you have to have in your bank account before you can even like.
No, but I feel like people.
Nah.
So there's like a social media thing. There's the social media people like where people just say the darkest things in their mind. But the silliest thing in their mind, we are getting to the point where that is now being seen as fact.
Yeah, for younger generations. It's for younger generations.
Crazy, but
Yeah.
now it's being seen as this is the normal. And you're like, but this is not normal.
Hey, it's not
Just go out there, touch grass. Like, this is not normal.
Look at you. What's that?
Go and touch grass. Yeah.
Like,
I like that term. It started from gaming and now it's popularized. I like it. Anyways, can we now react to the second part?
what's there to say? Like, he's okay. I think first things first, he's not the Afro. She's not for him.
We better be that.
It's not.
Yeah, no. Again,
Yeah.
he's not because no.
But is she for the
She
streets?
wants to get back.
Is she for the
wants to get
streets?
back with him.
Is she for the streets? I want to ask that. Like, is this street behavior? That's us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because remember,
Yes, it is. Because the thing is, yeah.
One night they didn't hang out together, and that's the one night.
Yeah.
So you don't even need multiple, just one opportunity, one follow.
That means basically it meant on her way to Italy, she was already like, how can I get an Italian man? That's what she was thinking.
She would have made this nigga speak. Sorry for this form.
If it happened in the US, she would. If it happened in where they reside, she's not going to be asking him for money for hotel or whatever. She would have just gone with it. So we don't.
This would have happened before. For me, if to learn to get this level of audacity, this is not something that happened once. That's what I'm saying.
But he acknowledged that he's enabled such, let's use the word toxicity. He did kind of say it. He said he's normalized things that he shouldn't have normalized. So
he will know better.
You were right about.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question on that. And I want you guys to be honest and be as objective as objective as possible. Do you think men find joy in women who give them? Do you think men enjoy entitled women, generally speaking? Especially men who are comfortable financially. Do you think that that's a thing that your gender supports and encourages because it makes them feel more manly?
Okay, so I have.
You go.
Okay.
Let me go first because you can compose yourself.
Let me know. What do you mean I can't compose myself? So, to answer your question, just in simple terms, yes, there are men who, like I think I mentioned it already. This behavior will come out if it is enabled. There are people who enable it and justify it, and then the women then take it that this is my standard. This is what I want because I've gotten it before. Now, why do those men do it? Some do it for different reasons. There are men who believe that this is how I will, in quote, get a woman to be loyal to me. I need to spend on her.
Fair. Is this simple? If you feel like you don't have anything else to offer, this is the kind of behavior that you enable. Is that simple? If you feel like your money is the only thing that you generate, if you feel like this is why people are with me, this is what you have to offer.
This is what will keep my woman.
Exactly.
Not even keep a woman.
Or even
make a woman.
If you feel like you are punching, this is what you enable. If you feel like you are punching, you enable this. If you feel like there's no other reason why people are with you, you enable this. So the situation is like, this should not be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. There's no reason why somebody encouraging this kind of behavior.
Is it ultimately because of men?
And the worst part of it is that, forget about ultimately because of men. The worst part of it is that now when you are finished with this person and you move on, now you are living with that type of mentality for the rest of us. Now we have to talk through all of this for the street people.
The thing is this, I don't actually have a problem with that. Right? It's like if you have one experience and that one person gave you everything you want with your entitlement, blah, blah, for whatever reason it breaks up. And then you meet the 10 next people you meet, everybody's saying no.
But yes, the problem.
At some point you have to change. So the point is the number of men who
can't give up on your dreams. You can't give up on your dreams. If you had a nice dream once, you have to pursue that dream. You can't tell somebody to go on the line of comfort and like that.
The reason I ask this is that I feel like a lot of guys, like obviously people always say like a guy's primary responsibility in a relationship is provision and protection and blah, blah, blah. And some guys mistake provision for being that whatever this person asks, regardless of how irresponsible it is or how it harms me, if I want to show them that I care, I must just
I
give them
think
what they want. And I'm always like, that's not necessarily you providing. That's also you just sometimes being taken for a ride. Like, obviously, yes, you should be the man who brings the flowers, and like you should do all the romantic things that she likes. She might not even like flowers. I think if someone brought me flowers right now, I'll just sneeze all over
you
everything.
would
But
love the flower.
the point is, you should do all the fun things that she likes. But like when you encourage entitled behavior, I start to question like your self worth as a
I think
guy
I think I
in the
will say this,
relationship.
right?
So
I think
yeah,
I
it's
will
just
say
an
this,
interesting
right?
thing.
And this is the problem. And this whole thing is actually I don't want to blame women. I'm going to blame certain type of women. I will explain. When women get to a certain age, right, they start dating up.
Yeah.
Okay. A 21-year-old will date like a 30-something-year-old or a 30-year-old, right? They'll be like, it's not mature. When you're dating somebody who is 30-something-year-old and you're 20-something-year-old, right? You're dating a guy who is in a different life period than you. If I can use that word, there's a particular word I was looking for, I can't find it. But they're in a different stage of their life than you, right? And also the guys that are around you, who are your age mates, right? They have more life experience. So yes, are they more mature? Sure. But they also have more money. All right. They also have less time,
Okay, what's the
technically
problem
speaking,
here?
to deal with most of your issues. So they cover up most of their thing by giving you more money or giving you a particular type of lifestyle.
That's not
Be
true.
patient. Be
That's
patient.
not true.
They might not be true for the people for
Have you dated a man in his 40s since you're in your 30s? Is that why you're telling
this.
us to be
No,
patient?
this is just like I've seen a lot of people like
That's not the.
this is from my experience.
Does it happen?
This is from my experience. I'm speaking from my
I'm not saying
experience.
it doesn't happen.
It's fine.
Right.
You can speak up when it's your time, and you can speak from your experience, because whatever experience that we are all sharing here, we are sharing it from our experience. I have lived
Okay.
in
So land
a
your
community
point
with a
then,
bunch of
Ayo.
girls
Yeah.
before. All right. So this is from my experience, and generally speaking, I have a lot of girls who happens to be friends who generally tends to date older women at a particular older men at a particular age in their life.
That's not the
And it's fine. And during that age, there are certain things that they get accustomed to and they get used to. Now, when you are that guy who is now at their age group, seeing all of these particular women, obviously they're very attractive women, right? We are very attractive women, in a particular thing, and you now be like, this is now what you need to date. You need a particular amount of money. You need to provide a particular type of lifestyle to this particular people that you are trying to attract. Now, this is a cycle, and it is the truth. It's a vicious cycle of now, like, when you now get to that place, now you date somebody who's younger than you provide this kind of a thing. Now, when they go and talk about it, they're like, this is what my mate is providing for me. This is what I'm expecting.
But how are women to blame here? Because I
I'm
think
not blaming.
how are
That
women
was
to
a
blame?
joke. I'm
Because
not
to be
blaming women in
honest,
particular. I'm just saying,
a
like,
lot.
it is a cycle that just like it just drives itself forward. From my experience,
So
that's
this is the thing. Right? The part that I had I have a disagreement with is I'm not saying your cycle thing is wrong. No. But the part where because he doesn't have enough time for you, he just pumps money with you. Now, not everybody does that. That doesn't happen.
Some people date. Some people marry people that are 10 years
There are
younger than
men your
them.
age who also
And
do
they have a
that.
very active and so it's not all. It's not all, but I'm not even saying
So
all.
that
But
doesn't
majority,
apply.
yeah.
No, not majority.
In
And
essay,
that's
majority, yeah. In essay, that's the cycle. Like
where this girl were you
Did you do a
doing
statistical
I don't
study?
understand though.
it's fine. You don't have to listen. You don't have to agree. It's not have to agree. It's just like
Again.
from my experience of what I've come to see, right? This is how it actually goes. The older gentleman, the girls
That's not
prefer the older
that's
gentleman.
not the
The older gentleman.
that's
date,
not the
and then
point
stop.
of that's not the area we are holding on to. It's the unhealthy giving of money that causes entitlement. That's the part where I'm saying I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not like the norm. It's not normal. It's not like it's everywhere. No, it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's not
In
like
fact, you might be surprised. You might be surprised to find that a lot of girls who date older men don't get that much money from those men.
Okay.
That's just the reality of it. That they don't get that much money from those men, but they get from the men probably like the sense of safety,
Yeah.
emotional safety that maybe someone their age might not be able to provide. The fact that he's able to deal with their ranges, like the emotional range that they've got, and maybe someone their age can't deal with it. Some of them are not getting that much money. A lot of those girls are probably earning really well and looking after themselves, and the guy's just doing a little sprinkle on top.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
No, it's fine. I'm not arguing this. It's my experience. I'm not going to argue my experience. It's like, that's just how life works. If I'm arguing something I do not know, then I'll be like, okay, I can believe this. This is my experience that I'm speaking on.
And that's fine.
Ayo, it's possible that some girls haven't dated men who have provided for them. They're just in a state where they're like, other girls are getting things and I deserve things too. That's just it. So they're in fact, you're likely to be unreasonably entitled when you've never experienced someone looking after you like that. So when you've never experienced it, you're more like very gung-ho on like and unreasonable on all the things that you want. But when you've experienced it, you know that the guy who's spoiling you is a human being, and you're also like, oh, okay, yeah, I can also take care of some things myself. Like, you don't want to present yourself to him as someone he can let go of just like that. So you're like, oh, I also need to cover myself in some way, so he at least sees that I'm also like, okay. Otherwise, if you're just a life, he can pick up 10 of you.
Emotional, where she basically knows how to manipulate the guy.
There are actually a lot of women who end up with men who do not do that for them. And I would say what drives it more is not necessarily that women date older men. It is more like what women hear other women are getting, right? It's more, I think that has more of an impact than women dating older men, because there are a lot of older men who are broke and messed up. And there are women who are dating them and are struggling with them and are doing Bob the Builder with them. So there's that. So that's not, I don't think that you can use that as a point. But I'm not lying. There are lots of broke, messed up older men out there. Yes, there are women who are doing Bob the Builder with men who will not let their dreams go, like dreams that have already died. They're still hanging on to it. And the women are Bob the Builders. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The women are doing Bob the Builder with those men. So I think it's more the social media thing that you were referring to, where it's like there's now a sense of like, this is what you should demand as a woman. Like, if you're going out on a first date, it's not like, oh, I'm going out on a date to know the guy. It's more like, what is he bringing for me? Is he opening the door? Did he send a limo? Like, it's not more like so it makes you not a genuine person even when you're going on a date with a person, because you're just looking out for you as opposed to like trying to get to know the other person. That's what I think the real issue is.
There was a girl who I thought we were going on a hangout, but she took it as a date, right? And then I'm like, okay, it's fine. If the date is cool, so it's free. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, let's spin it this way. Right. And then I take her to this place, and the food is good. The food is good and it's really beautiful, right? And then, but she's like, no, she wants to go to then in Nigeria. She said she wanted, let's just say the equivalent of, I don't know, KFC or whatever. And I'm like, why? We are already here. And she's like, when I tell my friends the story, they don't know this place, so they're not going to understand. I want to go to a place that they would know. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Like this.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with older men at all. With dating older men at all.
The concept behind it is not dating broke older men. It's dating people that have specific resources.
How many older men are actually rich if we want to look at it in the context of the whole world? Like, let's all be honest with ourselves, please.
Let's get an example. You are all in university, right? You don't have as much money as somebody that is working. Even if he's a Bob the Builder in his workplace, he still has more money building than the brother who is reading calculus to trying to prepare for an exam tomorrow. That's the concept.
So there's two things to this, right? There's access to more resources, and because you have access to more resources, you can things that are standard for the older guy because he has more resources is a lot for the girl that this younger guy cannot compete with. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
No. But where you then cross the whole thing is that these guys pump so much money that these girls become entitled. That's the part that I'm like,
Yeah, but pump.
But that's the part
That's
that
not what's
It's an
happening.
experience. You're creating an
Because
experience.
the guy who's working
That's
has
the
more
student.
responsibilities than the
Yeah,
student.
but
The
then
student
in
has
that
parents who are looking
responsibility and
after
in
who are
that
looking after them.
listen, we are creating an experience here, right? An experience that you take into your next relationship. Because we are all a bundle of we are all made up of our relationships, right? Like whether good or bad, we learn from them and we take them into our next relationship.
Me, I'm not made up of any
So
relationship.
can I ask a question?
Every relationship
Are
I've
you the
left
same way
behind.
as your first boyfriend?
I'm at the feet of the
This one I
Lord
want to
as I
attack
was
this one. Are you
born.
the same as your first relationship? Like you went in blind now as your first relationship. So you didn't take anything from your previous relationships.
Ayo.
But what I'm saying is I didn't take anything from my experience in that relationship did not necessarily make me what I'm like
We are
entitled
shaped.
in any way.
We are
And
all
I
shaped
dated
by our
someone who was
previous
actually well
relationships.
off.
My take
Yes.
on this is if you're in a relationship,
Yes.
don't enable audacity.
Yes.
That's my take.
Yes.
Like don't it builds up. You before it gets to a dangerous place where she's just saying this because she wants to cheat and all, or she's just asking you for something that is clearly not. Again, I'm going to use this nice word. Very inconsiderate.
Yes.
Right. He has been saying yes, and he acknowledged it that I have made the abnormal normal. That's what I'm saying. Don't make the abnormal normal before it gets to that point. That's my point.
Guys,
So,
this has
Demi,
been great.
What's your take on this, Demi? What's your I don't know what's your bad advice?
I mean, I think he probably I can't remember how he said it ended. It seems like they didn't stay together, right? Like he ended the relationship. I hope he did. Because I think that she's not in a spot. Yeah, because I think he did. I genuinely think he did the right thing because I don't think she's in a spot where she's like, oh, I'm with this guy 110%. There's probably like a part of her that's still like something is missing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like she might have come to a realization like, oh, this is not, I don't think this is my guy 100%. And so I want to try something else. And she's well within her rights to do that. I don't think she should be doing that and expecting the guy to pay. So I think the guy took the right action by saying, "No, I'm not going to pay.
For clarity's
If you want to
sake,
stay here in Italy, you
it's
should
not
look after
okay.
yourself."
I don't think you're saying it's okay for her to like cheat on him, even if he pays. Yeah.
No. I'm saying if she wanted to stay in Italy and to be like, oh, I want to look out for like think about my life or whatever, she should have done it on her own back. I think he was right to say, I'm not going to pay for this. And then I think after finding out that she was actually going to step out, because remember, he didn't know before. He just thought she wanted to stay. And he was like, no, I shouldn't pay for this. And then find out and ending the relationship, I think is a good idea because it seems like she had her eyes out there already. I don't think she was really into him. Like she was like, this is my person.
Don't, you know what, I'm going to say that how don't dame dump. Because she did not think about hotel. She just thought about flights. That's what.
Yeah, maybe she thought the guy in Italy would house her, and then that one was like, nope.
No, that
what did he say? What did I say? I didn't hear that.
That one is probably married or stay with his mother. Like, what? No.
Exactly. That I think that's what happened. Yeah. She's probably like, oh, I've met this hot guy and I'm going to stay with him. And the guy's like, stay where? Like, I think you're cute and everything, but you can't come and stay with me. I live with my wife or I live with my mother. And now she's like, oh, crap. I need to live with my boyfriend. Guys, there's no point staying.
I guess you pick something from this. Even if you pick something that you should not pick, I don't how would I put that? Like you pick what you shouldn't do, not that we're telling you what to do, kind of thing. So, anyway.
Yes, what he said.
All right, guys.
Yeah, this was great. What he said. All right, guys. This has been fun.
Who are you attracting at this stage?